Hey everybody, Jaspinko here with the 8th and final episode of GeoFrauds Division 2 Season 7. Before we get into today's season finale GeoGuessr challenges, let's take a quick look at the leaderboard to see just how far we've come over the past 7 weeks. My promotion from Division 3 to Division 2 this season put me up against some fierce competition. Between the caliber of my fellow competitors and my own lack of practice playing movement-restricted games of GeoGuessr, I picked up very few points for the overall leaderboard, but that just means I need more practice. And speaking of practice, before I play the final challenge of the season, I'm going to warm up with a practice game on the same map. I put the challenge link for the practice map in the video description in case you'd like to play along with me. For week 8, we're playing in a rural world with 90 seconds per round. Moving isn't allowed, but we can still pan and zoom. In my experience, playing on a rural world is just about as difficult as pronouncing a rural world. I couldn't tell you how many times I had to re-record that voiceover because it's such a tongue twister. Anyway, let's see what luck this seed has in store for us today. Alright, we're starting off somewhere we can actually see quite a bit of our surroundings. We have a donkey and maybe a baby donkey next door. It's a whole family, the whole family's here. There's a kid on the bridge. And it looks like another kid watching us from the cornfield. Oh no, are they children of the corn? We have the sun in what looks to be the northern half of the sky, along with satellite dishes that are definitely pointing toward the north. So I'm thinking we're in the southern hemisphere. This could probably be Eswatini or Lesotho. Between Eswat and Lesotho, it's a little hard to call for me. I'm going to send it in Lesotho though, right in the middle. And it was Lesotho. We weren't in the middle, though. We were pretty near the edge. Thankfully, Lesotho's a small country, so we were able to get 47.85 that round. That's a pretty good start. Let's see where we end up in round 2. All right. It looks like we have ocean to the southeast. It looks like there might be cows in this field, but they look fake. They look like statues. Oh my, okay, wow. That's quite a landscape. We got lots of mountains to our west and so many sheep. Oh my gosh, that is so many sheep. So with the sun to the north, an ungodly amount of sheep, mountains to the west, like this has got to be South Island, New Zealand. And we're pretty close to the ocean as well. South Island, New Zealand, close to the ocean. How far south should we guess? I'm going to guess about mid South Island, New Zealand. Oh my gosh, that's a really good guess. I guessed the town we were right outside of? Wow. We were in Salisbury. We were on Ellis Road. I was only 6 kilometers away. That's crazy. 49.79? Probably not going to do any better than that for the rest of tonight, especially in a rural world, but maybe this is our seed. Let's see where we end up in round 3. Alright, we are driving on the right side of the road, the sun is to the south, and we have wide plates, so likely European. I'm not sure which kilometer marker that is. So since this feels European and it's pretty mountainous, I'd say, I'm thinking this is somewhere in the Alps. Whether that's Italy or France or Switzerland, I'm not quite sure. I know it's not Switzerland because we don't have low cam, so I'm thinking this could be the Italian side of the Alps. North central Italy, let's go with that. It was the Alps, but we were in Austria, so a little bit worse of a score compared to what we've had the rest of the game so far, but still, for a rural world, that's a pretty good score in my book. Let's see if we can do any better in round 4. Alright, now this is more what I was expecting out of a rural world. An impossible round. This feels like it could be a Baltic state. These wide gravel roads feel like something you'd see in Lithuania or Latvia or Estonia. I'm going to go with Western Lithuania because I've seen gravel roads kind of like this in Lithuania before, so I'm hoping that this is one of those. Okay. Our luck had to run out at some point. This is more my typical experience with the rural world. We were in Manitoba, Canada. All right. Well, 48 points. We can't do much worse than that in round 5, right? Let's see what happens. Okay, the sun is to the south. Kind of a narrow road. This feels European. Yeah, we got some like terracotta tile roofs. This is definitely European, but I'm not sure which country. This feels more Eastern European to me. I could see this being maybe Slovakia would be a good hedge. Slovakia or Romania. Those are the vibes I'm getting. So I'm gonna send it in central Slovakia. And this time it was north central Italy. Alright, so those must have been Italian polls. So 3,053 points is our 5th and final score. I actually did a lot better in the practice game than I thought I would. Normally my experience with the rural world is like those last 2 rounds where I get the continent entirely wrong. But if we somehow get more rounds like the first 3 in the league challenge, I might actually pick up some points for the leaderboard today. Ready or not, here comes the final challenge of Season 7. Just as with the practice game, we'll be playing on a rural world with 90 seconds per round and no moving. Given how much of a wild card this map can be, my expectations are on the floor for my score today. Let's see if we can surprise ourselves. Alright, we're starting off on a sandy road amongst lots of tropical looking trees. We have a black car. I'm sure if you know where the black car shows up in GeoGuessr, you're screaming at me in the comments, but I haven't memorized that. I'm just gonna throw it in Java. Okay, it could have been a lot worse. It was actually Malaysia on the Borneo side of things. We were near Sarakai. So 2461. I'm glad now that I didn't go with South America. That would have been basically 0 points. All right, let's see if we can get the right country in round 2. All right, the dirt is redder, the plants are taller, and I'm even less certain of where we are. Where could this be? Is this just Brazil? The sun is not in the north, and that's actually really helpful to know. I think we're in Cambodia. I feel like most places that have red dirt like this in GeoGuessr are in the southern hemisphere. So the fact that we're seeing the sun in the south, putting us in the northern hemisphere, really helps us narrow this one down. This does look like Cambodia to me. Yeah, so I'm gonna send it in Cambodia. Just in the middle. It was Cambodia. It was pretty northern Cambodia. I feel really good about being able to pick the country out of all the countries with red dirt that time around. 45-19 is our score. Let's see if we can get another country right in round 3. Okay, we have a single yellow line in the middle of the road. This seems like it could be a toss-up between the US and Canada. I remember reading ages ago that if you see a single yellow unbroken line in the middle of the road, it's more likely to be Canada than the US, but you can find them in both. So, given that one nugget of information, I'm gonna side with Canada this time around. Which province? I don't know. I don't see a ton of evergreen trees, so I'm thinking this is more eastern than western. So I'm going to go with Ontario. It wasn't Canada after all. It was just Rhode Island. I think this has been a pretty solid seed so far. I should knock on some wood, because you never know what's gonna show up in round 4. Ooh, some really tall trees. And a really long antenna. Wait, that's... That's not the antenna, that's the antenna. What is this? Does our car have a unicorn horn? What's that doing there? Is this ever... I think this is just a Baltic forest. I could see this being Latvia. There are forests like this in Latvia, so I'm just gonna send it somewhere outside of Riga. It was Russia. So let's see if we can actually end on kind of a strong note. The final round of this season of GeoFrauds, round 5. Okay, it looks like that car has a short yellow plate, So I'm thinking Colombia immediately from that. It's hard to tell where the sun is, but those are some cool plants. Wow. Like a hypnotic kaleidoscope-like pattern. That's really cool. Sun's pretty directly above us, which could support a Colombia guess as well. Colombia goes through the equator, so we'd be very close to where the sun is directly up ahead. I'm just going to send it near Bogota and call it a day. It wasn't Colombia, it was Peru. So for my final game of GeoFrauds Season 7 Division 2, I got 15,180 points, which I'm actually really happy with considering a rural world is such a difficult map. Here's how everyone else did this week. Jay came in first with 20,607 points, Pop Guy came in second with 20,222 points, and Yurtle came in third with 19,440 points. I came in 12th with my 15,180 points. The winner of GeoFrauds Season 7 Division 2 was R1 with 104 total leaderboard points. Clemu came in second with 94 leaderboard points, and Joey came in third with 83 leaderboard points. I ended up in last place with 28 leaderboard points, so I'll be returning to Division 3 next season. I hope you enjoyed not only today's challenges, but the entire season that's now come to a close. Let me know in the comments if you ended up playing along with the practice game. I'd love to know how you did and which rounds you found to be the most challenging. Also, be sure to subscribe so you know when my next GeoGuessr video comes out. Until then, I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you again very soon.